What's going on today, YouTube's? 1 second, I forgot to take a drink. Alright, should have my voice for this video. Today we got on the schedule the Arizona Cardinals, the third video of the NFC West division. If you didn't go see the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks videos, go check those out. They're on the channel now. Posted a couple days ago by the time you guys are seeing this. I have them going 9-8 overall, but being ranked 8th in the conference, being the 8th seed, so just missing the playoffs. But obviously, as we get into the schedule, you will see some of these games could go back and forth. To talk about their team and their roster, obviously Kyler Murray is a polarizing player when he wants to be. First half of the season, Kyler Murray, you do not want to face. He is just a menace. The scrambling ability that he has, the pinpoint accuracy he has on the outside. If he could just work on his inside accuracy, and I know it's hard for him being a shorter quarterback, having such tall offensive line towering over him. I still remember the very first game of his NFL career. He played the Lions, and it was out route, corner route, slant route, screen pass. There was nothing over the middle deep, and you could tell that he was trying to get into the comfort zone of being able to see over the giant men that are in front of him, which is understandable, seeing just how hard it would be as a normal player like Josh Allen size to see over some of his offensive linemen. So being that shorter in comparison to the normal size of an NFL quarterback just makes it hard. But then, like, halfway through the season, he just falls off a cliff, like he doesn't want to play football anymore or something like that. Going into the rest of the offense, they traded for Marquise Brown, or Hollywood Brown, from the Cardinals in exchange for a first-round pick this year. I think Marquise Brown is going to be better than any wide receiver you could have gotten this year in the draft right off the bat. Obviously, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, Drake London have the potential to be better than Marquise Brown long-term, but Marquise Brown has gotten better in every single year of his NFL career. He's worked on his drop issues and stuff like that, and he's fast, and he has that Oklahoma connection from when they were in college together. Other than that, you got Zach Ertz, who can be a safety net, not really a polarizing player like why did I say polarizing twice? Can't be the go-to tight end like he was Carson Wentz in Philly, but he's still good at this point in his career, I think. You got DeAndre Hopkins, who's got a 6-game suspension, then comes back. I think he'll come back with a chip on his shoulder because he didn't like the suspension in the first place. A semi-decent offensive line. They just signed their left tackle. I think it's Humphreys to a brand new deal. They still have Rodney Hudson, who headlined that offensive line group. I think that's still pretty good. They got James Conner, who had scored a bunch of touchdowns last year. I still don't think James Conner can be a bell cow, but I think he'll still be good. You got to look at the loss of Chase Edmonds to the Miami Dolphins and see what that does to the team, because he played quite a bit last year. I don't think there's anything else on offense. You got Rondale Moore and AJ Green. Rondale Moore they're like on opposite paths. Like AJ Green is on the decline clearly, and Rondale Moore I think should come in and be the obvious wide receiver 3 this year. Going on defense, their defense I have huge question marks, mainly at edge rusher, considering you let Chandler Jones go and didn't really refill that position in the free agency or the draft. You still have J.J. Watt, but if he continues on the path he's been on the last few years with injuries and all that stuff, he's not going to really play a huge factor. You got Zaven Collins, who's an off-ball linebacker. Isaiah Simmons is switching to a new role this year in the defense. It's called star or something like that, where they're trying to utilize more of his athleticism than a specific role in an NFL defense, which I think could be helpful to his career. But at what point does it just become him just being on the field because he's Isaiah Simmons? You got Budda Baker, who's obviously one of the better safeties in the NFL, super underrated in my opinion. And then you got Byron Murphy on the outside, and I cannot remember the other corner's name, but Byron Murphy, I think, has taken a step forward since his rookie year. I think he could be a great corner if given the chance, or if given, I'm not sure the word I'm looking for. Getting into their schedule, though, I have them dropping the game in week 1 to the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, or no, I don't have them dropping the game. What am I looking at? I have them winning the game in week 1 against the Chiefs. I think this is really where the Tyreek Hill loss affects the Chiefs the most. you don't have that super high explosive offense, and with Rondale Moore and Marquise Brown being such speedsters off the edge or out on the boundaries, without a super fast or over the top safety that the Chiefs can have. And I think Justin Reed can be that, but growing pains and stuff like that, I think they win this game. Week 2, I have them losing to the Oakland Raiders. I think this game could really go either way. I really truly do. I could see the Cardinals winning. I could see the Raiders winning. It just depends on who plays better, and that happens every week. I mean, it's any given Sunday. So I do think the Cardinals are better, but I think the Raiders' offense being uplifted by Devontae Adams will help them, especially with how many receiving weapons that the Raiders have and the little amount of DBs and actual cover players that the Arizona Cardinals have. In week 3, I have them winning the game against the Los Angeles Rams. Not really much to say. I just think in Arizona, I think the Cardinals, especially with Kyler Murray being, his dangerous self in this portion of the season, could just win this game. Week 4, I have them winning the game against the Carolina Panthers. I just think Panthers. Why do I keep saying it like that? It's Panthers. I just think they are better than the Panthers overall. In week 5, I have them winning against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think A.J. Brown could play a big role for the Philadelphia Eagles this year, but it just depends on how Jalen Hurts comes out and plays. In week 6, I have them beating the Seahawks. As you saw the Seahawks video a couple days ago, I don't think they're going to be very good. Week 7, I have them picking up the game against the New Orleans Saints. Like I said in the last couple of videos, I just think Jameis Winston has a ceiling that he can perform to, and that floor is super low, so it just depends on how Jameis Winston plays. In week 8, I have them winning the game against the Minnesota Vikings, and I think this game could really go either way as well. Vikings could really win this game, especially being at home. But I do have the Arizona Cardinals winning this one. In week 9, I have them picking up the game against the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, like I said, in this week 6 bout, I just think the Cardinals are going to be better. In week 10, I have them losing the game against the Los Angeles Rams in LA. Like I said earlier, for the week 3 tilt, it's just in LA. I think the Rams will just be better. In week 11, I'll have them dropping the game to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm getting swept by the 49ers this year. So that might change. I could see how that would not. But again, this is when Kyler Murray, starts to drop off and not play really good football, or his MVP self like he does up here. As you can see, it reflects. You know what I mean? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-2. Yeah, 8-2 going into week 11, and then Kyler Murray just kind of drops off. So then I have him losing 2 in a row to the 49ers and the Chargers, and I think this is just going to play out to Kyler Murray playing. If he shows up, both of these could be wins. If he plays like he normally does the second half of the season, they could easily be losses. Then week 13, they have their bye. Week 14, I have them dropping the game to New England. This could very easily be an Arizona Cardinals win. But for right now, with how Kyler Murray plays and his trajectory over the last couple of years in his NFL career, how he plays not so good in the second half of the season, I think they lose this game. Week 15, I have them losing to the Denver Broncos, and then week 16, I have them losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Obviously, the addition of Russell Wilson makes the Broncos, I think, a very, very good contending team. And then week 16, obviously, it's Tom Brady. By this point, I think you could see the fall off, if there's going to be any, in Tom Brady's playing career. And then week 17 and 18, week 17, I'm winning against the Atlanta Falcons. It is 1:50 in the morning. Let me catch a break right quick. In week 17, I have them winning against the Atlanta Falcons because I think the Falcons will not be that good this year. Obviously, I think they're going to be one of the bottom teams, if you've watched my other video. In week 18, I have them losing against the San Francisco 49ers. I think that this could be the game where the number 7 seed is decided. And then I just have the 49ers, putting it all out on the line and winning for that 7 seed, which obviously means they go 9-8 on their record, 3-3 in the division, and number 8 ranked, or in the number 8 seed in the conference. Just missing out on the playoffs. I think that if a couple of these games go their way, a couple other ones don't go their way, this game in Week 18 against the 49ers is really, really going to matter. I wonder what happens if they tie. I just want to see this. So the Cardinals make the playoffs, and, well, obviously if they tie. But I'm still going to give it to the 49ers. Just because I think 49ers have a better overall roster, and by this point in the season, it really, really matters to have better. And I think the 49ers could have a healthier season than. I'm just going to stop talking because now I'm getting myself into a hole that I don't know where I'm going to. But I think that's going to be it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. It just comes down to how Kyler plays on the second half of the season. I mean, they could really go. They could win this game against the 49ers. They could win this game against the Chargers. They could win this game against the Patriots. They could win this game against the Bucs if Tom Brady's not playing up to his standards over his whole career. And they could win this game and, be in contention for the division. You know what I mean? So it just depends on how Kyler Murray plays, in my opinion. That's going to be it, though. Make sure to hit the like button. Ooh, I just did the piece way too early. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to comment down below what takes you think I missed. If anyone comes in the comments and says the Kyler Murray take on playing bad in second half of the season, says that take is bad, you don't know football, because Kyler Murray over literally his whole career has just dropped off in second half play. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because it helps the channel grow. Other than that, make sure to tell someone you love them. That's Tim Tatman saying peace.